Hey everyone, in this video I will teach you some of my favorite tricks for movement in Breath of the Wild. This will be part of a 3-part series, and I will go through tips, start with the easiest ones for newer players, and I'll move on to more advanced stuff. This video is something for everyone, and I would appreciate it if you watched the whole thing, and maybe give it a thumbs up or check out my channel if you thought it was useful. We will start with some pretty normal movement tricks to help you move around faster, and then switch to some more advanced stuff to help you fly around Hyrule like nobody's business. If you want, you can join my Discord server, and it will be in the description, and I'll try to answer every question you have about this video and others. Tip number 1, the whistle sprint. This is a very useful trick that almost everyone can pull off, and what it allows you to do is run without using stamina. You see, when I sprint here, I use all my stamina, and eventually you'll get tired and you won't be able to run anymore. This avoids that and lets you run at 80% speed by whistle it while you run. To move fast, you should alternate between sprinting and then whistle sprinting. That way you won't waste the stamina that replenishes while you whistle sprint. You will have to hold your controller in a sort of weird way to pull this off. I have a photo down in the bottom. You should mash B, hold whistle, and then push forward on the stick. Number 2, shield surfing. Now, Breath of the Wild does teach you about this, but there is some stuff that they don't really mention that much, and this is a very useful way to get around, especially in the snow or the desert. So I thought I might as well mention these because they're pretty useful. The Ancient Shield is by far the best shield for shield surfing. It's good durability, but if you need to, you can duplicate and durability transfer, which I have a video on, but I'll also cover it in a later video. It's certainly the smoothest shield, and will let you shield surf for a while before it breaks. If you feel like you lose momentum, you can do this little jumpy trick I'm showing now. That will help you shield surf for a little bit more. Part number 3, rafts. Now, these are pretty useful ways to get around, but they're bad if the water is flowing in a different direction, so you have to be sure you're the right way. Now, the wind can push it by itself, but you really should use a leaf to push it, and there are some special ways to make it move faster than normal. You should stand right behind the mast, so that you're touching it, and then use the leaf. This will be faster. Just move around in the mast to face whichever direction you want to move in. Another tip is when you just press Y, you mash Y to blow the boat, sometimes you'll get a weird little animation that takes more time. Instead, you should time your Y presses so that they look like this. That way you won't have to deal with an animation that slows you down at the best speed possible. The Island Lobster shirt will also make you move faster, but that's only available in the DLC, so not everyone will have it. Alright, part number 4. So, this will be about horses. I don't use horses very much. They're not really my favorite type of movement. And either way, Breath of the Wild explains how to use them pretty well, and there aren't lots of unusual tricks with them. Except this one, in my opinion, is very useful. So what you do is you teleport to the Stasis Shrine, and then fly over to these large trees. This is where the giant horse spawns. I already have it on this file, so it won't appear. But there are still a few other horses, and you can do this with them. So while you're here, they seem all jumbled up, right? What you do is you save, and then you load that file. The position of the horses will reset, and you want the horse that I'm about to pin. This one will almost always have 5-star speed, and is an easy way to find a good horse without RNG. Alright, now here's another shield surf tip. It's just the shield surf double jump. Now Breath of the Wild teaches this to you. It's where you just go into a shield surf by jumping forward, and then you press A while push it forward. It doubles the distance of your jump, so it's pretty useful. See, that's a normal jump, and now shield surf double jump, I reach all the way. It's pretty useful in shrines. You can cheese some shrines like this, and isn't too hard to pull off. You can use it with an ice pillar and send yourself pretty high. Hit your shield off so you don't land on it to save durability. And that's a nice way to hit through shrines fast and maybe get some bullet time or whatever. Alright, now this one here is our first type of launch over in this video. It's very easy to pull off compared to most launches. As the stasis launch isn't too hard, I won't go over that as it's very obsolete and there are so many better ways to do that. Anyway, so what you do is you need a wooden boss, and then you place a bomb on the other side across from you, just like that. Detonate the bomb and you send yourself flying. This only works with wooden bosses, and be careful about the placement of the bomb as it's easy to mess up. Alright, now this next tip, I'm not sure if it's really movement. It only has one real use in the overworld, but either way it's very fun to do, so I thought I might as well teach it to you. This is how to pass through walls. First, you need to understand how skew works. What this does is when you land on your shield on a slope, when you take off your shield mid-shield jump, for 1 frame, your body should pop out to the side. It'll always face in the direction of the slope. Use this by shield jumping into a wall, taking off your shield, your feet will stay in, and then your body will follow, and you'll be in through the wall. The wall has to be the same direction as the slope. Land it on top of your shield will reset your skew, so you have to make sure that that never happens. Right now, I am not facing in the same direction. That's why I'm using my sword to line up. I'm doing it a little bit wrong and make sure it's in the exact same direction. It's also a lot easier on flat walls, which is why it's mostly only useful in shrines. Otherwise, it's very hard to do. Now I'm in the bottomless pit outside of a shrine. I find the slope, shield surf onto it. Now I check to see if I have the effect. I do, so I head over to the flat wall that faces in the same direction, take off my shield mid-shield jump. If I face the right way and time it just right, I should be able to pass through. This right here, in my opinion, is probably the best movement in Breath of the Wild. It also requires the most setup and is the hardest to pull off. It's the bullet time bounce, or BTB. What you need for this is a frozen enemy or a red boat hoblin. Now you need to shield surf onto their head, enter bullet time at the perfect time, and then exit it when you hit. First, what I do is I use my sword to line up so that I jump straight onto it. Then, I do a shield jump right onto its back. Then I pull out my bow. Right after I hit it, I press Y to do a shield spin that exits bullet time. Then I launch very, very, very far. Even though the bullet time bounce gives you probably the best and farthest launch, it is not my favorite. My favorite is the wind bomb or bomb impact launch. You can set this up anywhere. All you need to do is be airborne and launch yourself very far. It's the best to do from towers or maybe cliffs or really just anything. You can also set it up from a Rivali scale into a wind bomb. This is very useful and, in my opinion, the best movement. What needs to happen is that while you glide forward, you need to deploy a circle bomb, a square bomb, switch to the circle, and detonate it with this space in. Now, you can change it up a little bit. Sometimes you'll launch more upwards or more downwards. While you glide forward, deploy a circle bomb, and right after, press ZR. Then place a square bomb while you're in bullet time, switch to the circle bomb, once they're pretty much lined up straight and you're farther away, detonate the circle bomb, and it'll launch the square bomb into you and send you flying. Thank you so much for watching my video on my favorite movement tips in Breath of the Wild. I'll make 2 more similar videos but with different topics. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see those. Thumbs up the video maybe, I don't know. Join my Discord server if you want to, ask some questions, hang out. Awesome.